Hello, everyone. Welcome back to True Crime Files. I'm Kathy. Housekeeping rules. When you come in, please like, subscribe, notifications set to all, and share. This story is really sad, and the officers involved do crack down on the parents quite hard. And I think sometimes they need to be, because in my opinion, any officer that has to interview parents over child abuse or child neglect, it must hit them hard. And they've got to have anger built up inside them. But then some coppers or police officers are able to keep it calm, pretending, that it's not affecting them when it would affect them. So I'm going to bring this. I'm going to leave it just a very short while to see if anyone comes in to chat, so they can get the grasp of the channel. What I will probably do Monday is I will do another live. Tomorrow I'm busy, but Monday I will do a live, work out what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to pre-announce it before I actually go live. I know, excuse me. I know why I've got under 100 subscribers, that it's going to be difficult for a few people to come into a live, especially when I just do it unannounced. So I'm going to pre-announce it one on Monday. It's probably going to be around noon in the UK time. But I will let you all know when I've decided what topic I'm going to do, because you never know what pops up over the weekend. Now, I did watch this one last night, and this is why I felt I had to bring it to everyone, because, every child deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a child. And how parents can starve their children is beyond me. I believe this child, it showed in the post-mortem that he hadn't eaten anything for over 6 hours, because the smaller the body, the quicker foods and that goes into their intestines and stomach. So I'll just get on and play this. And if anyone comes in, that's all well and good. Because I'm not monetized yet, because I've got nowhere near the amount of subscribers or views. If you fancy buying me a cup of coffee, it's scrolling down the bottom there. All you do is type into your web browser buymeacoffee.com/Kathy P, and you can donate anything. If you're in America, it can be as low as 50 cents, or if you're in the UK, it can be as low as 50p. All contributions are gratefully received. And with that, we will go and start this live. So let me go and start this.
Stop breathing at all.
It's just before 10 p.m. at a home in Canton, Ohio, where police respond to a report of an unresponsive 3-year-old.
Cut it out. Almond. Mercy. Mercy. Got a 2-year-old who's done back. We have a 2-year-old that child is back. We're doing CPR. Okay.
So
while medics attempt life-saving measures, officers approach the home. Police identify the woman seen here as 38-year-old Jamie Thompson, the adoptive mother of 3-year-old Burko Givens, who was pronounced dead at a hospital a short time later, reportedly due to starvation. Next, Jamie heads inside while officers prepare to escort her to the station for questioning.
Yes. You're going to be sitting here?
What's it for? It's a guy. You don't like guys. I don't know what it is.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So
we are ready whenever they are.
Okay.
Are you ready, babe? Okay, come on.
You get to choose, ma'am. Oh, I stand by the
There ain't
door.
no snow outside. So
No, but it's wet.
it might not work.
Police identify the man seen here as 43-year-old Demetrius Givens, Burko's adoptive father and uncle, who investigators are also anxious to hear from.
He looks very hard, doesn't he? As if he could be quite aggressive, but he's not. He's not that at all. He cries like a baby. And you can tell later on in the interview with the mother, where she's told she's not under arrest and she can walk out any time. She uses that to her advantage. Let's play.
Can I put the diaper on real quick?
Yeah.
It's gonna sound like I'm doing something. I'm not. See you guys? I'm gonna take.
Copy. Do you want me to start canine?
Okay with that? Did not want her in the back of a car.
No, not at all.
We'll check an advice.
The lights on though. That would have been awesome. But I don't want to do that because that's kind of scary. You know what's going to be pretty cool? Whatever your problem is, baby, I don't care. I told her I was not riding the cop cars.
Nice
Cool.
officer.
Well, the lights will not be on.
Oh,
I would turn the lights on. I don't care.
hit them cop cars. Yeah. I got to lock it. I got it, Mom. Lock the door behind when. Well, you got the cop there. Yeah.
So it's your choice. One of you guys can ride in the car parked right in front here, and there's another cruiser down the street.
My husband.
So we got two cars here.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, you well, it's going to be a quicker drive down.
I love you, baby.
Do you want to get in this one since we're right here?
I got to sit in the back too.
Yeah. Well,
Where can I drive?
where am I going to sit?
In the passenger seat. I don't get no cushion.
No. They don't make them very comfortable.
Moments later, the couple arrives at the police station where detectives have plenty of questions for them.
Sorry.
You're fine. Take your time.
My 19-year-old was being thrown out in a car accident.
Oh, no.
And my 11 and 12 he rubbed, so that seat's just not good.
Yeah.
They weren't built for comfort.
First, detectives sit down with Demetrius minutes before things get a little heated.
In your own words, tell me what brought you to the police station tonight.
I had noticed my son wasn't breathing.
Wait, when did you notice that?
When I went in to check on him for the night before I took it out.
About what time was that?
Maybe about 8-ish. Somewhere around that.
What did you do when you noticed he wasn't breathing?
I tried to resuscitate him and then they called ambulance.
Demetrius says he called 911 after finding Burko unresponsive, but judging by the child's alarming condition, detectives need more answers.
When's the last time Burko was at the doctor?
That's low now.
What's not too long ago?
Like a couple months ago.
Couple months ago?
Yeah, and then we've even got like CPS involved, so like they knew that, what the situation was going on.
Like, do a home visit, check on him?
We called him on ourselves, so they knew that he wasn't being neglected and everything, We called him on ourselves, so they came out and
What did they do?
they helped us get doctor's appointments somewhat anyway, but it was hard as hell to get him into a doctor's appointment, It was like months and months waits to get him in anywhere.
Demetrius says the pair struggled to make doctor appointments for the boy, who detectives said was found severely emaciated and weighed what they estimated to be less than 21 pounds.
He ate,
When's the last
but
time?
he didn't gain weight.
How many times a day does he
He
eat?
eats like 5 times a day.
Did you think something was wrong with Burko?
Well, beforehand, no, not really. They knew,
Who's they?
the doctors. And we knew something was wrong too, but he just wasn't getting the help that we needed,
I mean, did you ever call for an ambulance or anything to check him out?
No, we didn't have to, he wasn't.
What do you mean you didn't have to?
He was fine.
Here's what I'll tell you. You're
kid is dead.
I know this, sir.
Listen,
Me, man.
here's what I'm going to tell you. Look at that. Look at that picture.
No, dude,
You know how much he weighed? Less than 21 pounds.
Wait, man.
Okay, so you got a phone, dude. You can call 911. You can get help. You starved that kid to death.
I didn't starve him. What do you mean?
You didn't feeding.
Yes, I did. I
If
thought
that
he was
kid
starving,
ate,
dude.
he wouldn't look like that.
He ate. He ate, man. He had a condition, dude.
So this is the thing.
No,
He ate, man.
Okay.
He fucking ate, dude.
Because I had the ER doctor look me right in the face and said, there's no way that this kid has seen a doctor. Okay. Because look at me. Because that doctor looked at that kid and goes, if this kid has feeding issues, there should have been a fort or a feeding tube in him a year ago.
They were talking about just doing it at the log when they did.
If you saw a dog that looked like that in your neighbor's yard, you would know that that dog was starving to death.
That's your son. I saw bones on him that I only see in books when it's a picture of a skeleton.
I try my best, man. I try my best, dude.
You have a stepdaughter. You have another biological child.
I have 3 others.
Okay. So you know what a healthy child looks like and acts like. Were you just hoping that Burko would get better?
I'm wanting to.
Right. But it became pretty clear that he wasn't getting better. Did he puke today at all?
No.
He didn't puke at all?
No.
Were you home all day?
No. Yes, I was.
And he never puked one time today?
Sir. He has this like slabber thing that he does, but he didn't puke today. He didn't puke yesterday, the day before that.
So when they do the autopsy, there's going to be food in his stomach.
Yes, sir.
I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah. Any doctor that's gonna.
I told him to the doctor just when he got the pediatricians. I haven't been.
And when was that?
Gotta ask his mom.
Dude, you're his.
Yeah,
I know.
You know, bro.
Dude.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put you in prison for a long, long, long time because you starved your.
Not starving, dude. God, I did, dude.
Ain't no doctor saw that kid looking like that.
No. Demetrius,
man.
okay, that's fine. Like I said, Demetrius, no doctor is going to do that. So you guys are saying that you take him to the doctors, and it's like, cool, you all take him to the doctors. Then guess what, Demetrius, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to every single doctor, and I'm going to put them in prison as well. Okay? The story that we got from other people is he was thrown up a lot, which makes me think that you really don't have a clue of what's going on. Why did it take you guys so long to call us?
What do you mean?
Demetrius.
He was dead for a while. We got the call at 9:30. The coroner's like, this baby's been dead for
Back to bed.
anything else that you think you can tell us to help us out, man, because
So sorry.
okay. Well, the answers that we have, and I can probably speak for Detective Severos, they don't sit well with me at all.
I'm going to paint a real ugly picture of you to the court. Last chance. You got anything to say? Okay. Time is 01:11 hours. This concludes this interview.
Enjoy your freedom because it ain't gonna last long. Let's go. What do you mean? I mean,
Next, Jamie, Burko's adoptive mother, is brought into the room for questioning.
why are you crying?
My son. That's why. Why else wouldn't you?
What happened to your
They're crying because they've just been caught and they know they're in big shit of trouble. So that is why they are crying, because they've been caught.
So I told them to go check on him to get him up for dinner, and he wasn't breathing.
What time did you get him up for dinner?
It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish. Right before I called you guys.
Notice the inconsistency. The father said 8 p.m. and she says 9 to 9:30 for dinner. That, to me, for a child of that age, is a bit late to be having dinner, unless I've misheard it all.
What time did you go down to bed?
It was about 6 o'clock.
Is that normal? Just 6 o'clock?
Yeah. Well, it's between 4 and 6 because he has a condition where he doesn't want to be like around anybody and whatnot, and he's got where he like throws up and it makes his condition worse. But he's had this condition for almost 2 years now, where he goes from what he's at now to where he'll start gaining weight. He'll lose it again and it'll go back.
When's the last time you saw this pediatrician?
I don't have a record off the top of my head. It's on the calendar. I won't.
Ballpark, like 5-6 months ago?
No, I wouldn't
Last
say
year?
that. I would say probably about 4 months ago. Yeah, 4 months ago. Because I was taking him into the gastritis doctor.
So from November to now, no doctors yet?
No,
Why not?
because they told me the same thing every time I take him in there, what to do. Give him the Pediasure and then take away.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
If you saw a dog laying in the neighbor's yard that looked like him, what would you do?
You watch, she gets caught out here. I think this is so funny. I knew the answer before it was going to come along.
Would take it home and try to help it. Honestly, I would. I've rescued dogs before. I've found dogs. My dog that I had when I was little, we found it and it looked like that. But he's got a condition and the hospitals, I'm telling you, the hospitals aren't doing anything. They weren't doing nothing. I promise you
Well, you
that.
said the last time you took them in was November.
Yes, and she's the one.
So November, December, January, February, March. It's 5 months.
And he was fine from then until just within the last 2 weeks.
Why would you just send him to the ER?
I don't know, sir. I really don't. I should have. I really should have. But I thought I had it under control.
When do you think you should have taken him to the emergency room?
When he started vomiting and throwing up more.
Did he eat today?
Yes, he did.
Did he keep it up?
No, he was throwing it up too. And I even called CPS on myself because Akron Children's wasn't giving me answers.
When was that called?
That was the last time that I was having the same issues.
When was that?
When was that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
A month ago, a couple months ago?
No, this would have been October.
October of last year.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's the one that started helping me. And then as soon as she closed my case, that's when these doctors stopped returning my calls and stopped helping me. I've never had a child.
You would think they would take her phone off her and check the call records if she's been actually phoning them all up and what text messages she's received and things like that.
With any conditions like this. So I'm not sure what to do. Like, I understand, like, yeah, I took him to the hospital, but like what doctors to call or who to call, you know what I mean? To reach out for that research and help. And that's why the CPS lady reached out to those people, and as soon as she closed the case, everybody stopped calling me and stopped helping me.
This little kid is
the best. I was.
Unfortunately your best. I think the problem that is going to happen is that your guys' best resulted in your son's death. Okay? Trying is, if you can DoorDash for 8 hours a night, then you can drive your happy ass to an ER. And any doctor in this state will look at that baby and be like, we have to get this kid immediate help. It's been months. You're telling me that any doctor in the last 3 months looked at your kid and then said, all right, take him home and give him some more
Go
insurance?
home so I can talk to my mom and go from there, please.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to go home.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to be in touch. I'm telling you
Can I
right
call
now.
my mom and tell her I'm on my way home so they can let me in when I get there, please?
Just knock on the door. She's the one.
Okay. Thank you.
Time is 01:29 hours. This concludes this interview.
Jamie abruptly ends the interview, but returns the next day after investigators learn new alarming details.
So like I said, the last time we talked, we were just trying to figure out what the heck happened. We had this little dead baby and no answers. And so we figured the best thing to do is to talk to people. But with this being a possible criminal act, we read people Miranda. Is that something you're willing to do for us?
Just depending on what it is.
Okay.
Just because I was speaking with the lawyer now.
Yeah.
Trying to at least.
I got you.
It's just hard.
Trust me, nobody ever wants to be here.
I don't. And I wish this was not happening. Never wanted this ever. And if I puke, I'm sorry. I've been doing it all morning. I've not slept at all hardly.
Well, so we had a meeting yesterday with the coroner's office. So we have a couple of things that we need to discuss with you about some of the preliminary results. So the biggest thing that the coroner had brought up was just the weight and the mass of little Rumka. So
When was the last time he ate? Like,
He had liquids that
you said you found him what time? Around 9:30?
it was right, but it was he got up at 4 with my daughter, and then at 6 I'd given him the liquids, and he just throwing it right back up. It was a liquid IV packets, and he just throws that back up.
p.m.?
Yeah.
yeah, so 1,800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the coroner said his stomach was empty, but he did have a lot in his bladder, so he's taking in some liquid.
I was giving him everything I could.
In one medical report, the doctor noted that you wanted to give him back to see.
That's because I didn't have no other people. They weren't helping me, like not giving me answers on what to do with him. I said, I can't do this. And you know what she told me?
Oh.
It's hard to find a home for this kind of child, that you're kind of stuck with him. Are you serious?
Now, detectives reveal some new information that suggests the couple's original story doesn't exactly add up.
Yeah, but one thing that is 100% undeniable is the time of death.
Okay.
So this baby hadn't been dead for 3 hours. They're putting the time of death somewhere around 12 to 24.
There's no way. I swear to you, there's no way.
Well, I'm telling you why. And he had something that's very indicative of people is a green spot right here by your intestines. That gives him a time frame. And he was no longer stiff as rigor mortis. We're just trying to get answers.
I know, but
Warner
I
has
swear.
answers.
That's what my daughter, because when my daughter gets home at 2:30, she's the one that helps with me, because it's hard of me to holding both kids, taking both kids, because they, like I said, I'm not wanting to be around nobody. And my daughter is even the one that said, Mom, I got him. She got him up with it and got the food and everything. The liquids, she said she gave him to him, and I heard him. And I was changing, getting him fed too, and I heard him up. And he laid back, had her laying back down at 6 o'clock is what she was telling me.
What do you mean that's what she was telling you?
I heard him. He was up, and then that's why I told her, because I tell him, when you feed him or something, keep him up, don't down. And I seen her have him up. I don't know. I can't do this.
The doctor also said that there was nothing in his stomach. So meaning not just he was eating liquids, but there was nothing in his stomach or his small intestines. So even though you said you fed him at 6 or 2:30 or 4, whatever it was, that also doesn't fall under time frame.
Those are the liquids. He was on liquids.
But there was nothing even in stomach. Like it doesn't, I mean, I know liquid, but it's anything. You know what I'm saying? So not only does the time frame of death not work to 6, but there's nothing in the stomach to work to 6.
Jamie's story slightly changes before detectives reveal some newly discovered information that suggests the couple had stopped seeking medical help in the months leading up to the toddler's death.
Of course they did.
We got doctor's reports. Child has been referred to several specialists.
Mm-hmm.
and having this difficulty getting appointments with them.
Yes.
Informed to take child to be taken to ER for evaluation if you can't make an appointment. So now I have a list of doctor's appointments ranging from October 27th
Okay.
until December 10th, which is
Right.
15 weeks. In that 15 weeks, you had 12 appointments. Only 3 of them you attended.
Okay.
So that's 15 weeks, 12 appointments, only 3 were attended. That's 25% of the appointments.
After that, there was no appointment.
And then there was absolutely no appointments after that. The last time he was at a gastro appointment in person was October 7th. And at that appointment, your pediatrician said, if you're not liking what they're telling you, go to the hospital. But you never went to the hospital. And you knew he was doing worse.
Well, it was getting, I know.
So
I can't do this. I can't. I wish I would have fixed it the right way or doing more. I don't.
Isn't it funny how parents always say, I wish I did this and I wish I did this? It's all well and done saying that after the horse is bolted. You know, they've been caught out and they've been caught out big time and they're just complete monsters, in my opinion. You know, if you know you should have done this, you should have done it ages ago. I know when my kids were toddlers, if they had any problems, I'd take them straight to the doctor straight away. You know, it's just one of those things that you do. You're a caring parent. You will make sure you make your child thrive. And why she did not do this and him, it's just unbelievable.
I think you couldn't have done, well, I think you could have done more. I think the problem is that all he had to do was get to a hospital. For 7 months, all you would have to have done was drive him to any urgent care, stat care. It could be a crackhead doctor on the side of the corner, and he would have been in better hands than where he was at first.
I can't do this conversation no more. It's just
Okay.
my chest is starting to feel heavy.
is there any way you can justify why the coroner, who he is described as
I don't want to speak on this no more, please. I want to go home and speak with my lawyer and go from there.
why the child was dead longer than 3
It
hours?
wasn't. I want to speak with my lawyer. Am I able to go?
Yeah, you go anytime. We'll walk you out. Time of the recording, 11:39 for completion.
Should I take this? Am I going to that room? There wasn't.
Yeah, you take it with you. We're gonna talk to Demetrius. We're gonna go from there.
Jamie again ends the interview, but detectives still want to chat with Demetrius again and see.
Notice how the interview is controlled by Jamie. I just really don't know why these cops are letting her go. I know it's a case of catch up, you know, they will arrest her eventually. But you can tell, you know, as soon as it starts getting too much for her and it gets too raw to the truth, she wants out. She, you know, she's like a deer in headlights. She can't help herself.
What he has to say about the new information.
But there was nothing in his small intestine or his stomach at all. So they said that would indicate that he hadn't eaten in a while. It's because the beans would take a very long time to digest in the stomach.
Because he had those black things of rice. Black.
And then there wasn't anything in the small intestines, which would take even longer.
That's weird as shit.
And that was only, 4 hours,
Exactly.
5 hours until he died.
And if he's not shitting it out, where's it at?
Right.
That's what
I'm saying. It's
I'm
the small intestine.
not bullshitting you guys. Like,
No, I
You are
know.
bullshitting.
I'm just saying the coroners are doctors, and actually the coroner is a law enforcement officer. So they have questions that they expect us to ask, and we're trying to figure out, well, if it's empty, why or how?
yeah, that's what I want to know.
That was that. So the last thing was, now you said that you saw up at 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 4 p.m., you got fed. The coroner said that the doctor was called at 9, or we were called at 9:30. That's when you guys found him.
I fell asleep after that. I was tired of shit. I got
Four a.m.
and I got up to and check on him and shit. That's when I found him. And like,
So you found him around 9:30.
he didn't do his part.
About the time you called us. Well, the coroner said there was no way his time of death was much longer. So there's no way that he was fed or seen at 4, 5, 6 p.m. So if you saw him at 6 a.m. last, I mean, that would make sense because that's 13 hours.
He was up.
Yeah, he was up. So at 6 a.m. he was up. What about 10 and 4? So you didn't really see him go to 10 and 4 p.m., 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., right?
Well, ma'am.
It's all right. I mean, listen,
Hey, he's just crazy, man.
I'm not trying to help you out. I'm just trying to answer.
Like I said, I don't remember everything from that day because I was tired. And like I'm saying,
Right, but you can remember whether you saw him or not.
yeah.
And you already said you saw him at 10 a.m. and roughly 4 p.m. and you fed it. Well, he definitely wasn't fed at 4. And you already said he kept it down.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to start looking at that at 6 a.m. at best.
Right.
Did you see him alive in 5 and 6 a.m.?
Yes.
But you didn't see him alive and good 4 p.m.
Yes.
But that's not what the coroner says.
Now, Demetrius's story also takes a turn when he suddenly remembers things differently.
And at that point in time, she told me that she got him up at 4.
Right.
So that would indicate that she was lying.
Well, I mean, I'm asking you. You said you fed him at 4. She says she saw him at 4. I haven't specified what saw me. I'm going into my room, see him, look over there. He's laying there.
And like I said, I worked really late that day, man. I can't,
If that's not right, tell me.
I can't remember.
But there's no way you can tell me in one sentence that you fed him chicken, beans, and rice at 4 p.m. and you kept it down. Everything seemed fine. Then the next minute say, I don't remember anything from that day. If that's true, tell me, but don't go back and forth. It's accurate to say you didn't see him and feed him at 4 p.m., right? Live stomach contents, 4 p.m. is only about 4 or 5 hours before that.
And I was told that.
Who said they fed her? All right. Well, then why did you say you fed her?
Because I'm seeing him.
Because you're what?
I seen him with her.
Okay. Did you see activity or was he just laying there?
No, I don't know. I seen a quick second. Like I said, I was tired and I laid back down. And I didn't wake up until late. That's how tired I was.
All right. So when did you actually see him? Was it the 6 a.m.?
6 a.m. And then when I found him.
Right. No. So why the hell 15 weeks, 12 appointments, only 3 were attended? That's 25%.
And some of those I didn't know about.
Well, I'm just asking, like, your conversation with wife, like, why not when she went?
I didn't know anything about those sort of stuff.
Demetrius's memory appears to fail him multiple times throughout the interview. When detectives decide it's time to be frank with him.
So you can't say I looked at the kid and said everything's going fine when the doctor even told you if you don't like what you're hearing, if something isn't going right, go to the ER. And that was told to you 7 months prior. You were given an out.
Not me, physically, no. I wouldn't have told that.
Okay, so I'll tell you this.
Well, common sense would dictate, though.
Common sense.
And you're saying, man, you could pick up this little kid, walk into anywhere, and be like, please help him.
And if you did want to get him gone and call CPS, an easy way to get him gone would have been go to that gastro appointment and say,
and it wasn't to get gone, it was to help us, not to get it.
But
never wanted
he's gone.
I never wanted
everybody,
dude.
It would help everybody, is what I'm saying.
Never wanted to go, regardless of what anybody else fires.
So were you scared by taking these appointments they were going to see what condition he was and they were going to be taken from you?
No.
Then why not go to the appointments? And don't say you weren't in charge of him. Your wife was. You're the head of the house.
That's not what I'm going to say. I don't know. At least I had till I was working business and I slept and then I don't want to answer things.
Okay. We'll complete the recording time I know is 12:54 hours.
Demetrius also ends the interview. Arrest warrants were later issued for the couple, who reportedly later turned themselves into police. Both parents pleaded guilty to charges of involuntary manslaughter and child endangerment. Jamie and Demetrius were each sentenced to 8 to 12 years behind bars. Subscribe now.
Now, to me, that is appalling. I reckon they should have got a lot more than between 8 and 12 years. To me, taking a life of a child or, excuse me, an adult should mean life. So if you take a life, you'll get given life. And I mean life of like at least 25 to 30 years, if not longer. But I'm not the judge and I'm not the jury. So I can't really stipulate that. But I just think she's what, 38? She gets out in, say, 12 years' time. She'd be what, 50? She's still got a good few years left of her life left. So that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Right. I'm sorry no one turned up for my live. I got Billy No Makes a game, but at least you're watching it when it's not live. So that also counts a lot. And I do appreciate everybody that takes time out of their day to watch any of my videos and any of my shorts. I do appreciate it. So once again, thank you very much. And I may do a couple tomorrow. I can't guarantee what live I've got because we're car booting in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I got my indoor target shooting practice. So I don't know what time I can get online tomorrow. It might be the first day since I've got my computer, 5-6 weeks ago, that I actually have a day off the computer. So far, I've been recording every single day, not had one single day off. Okay, that's how dedicated I am to my members. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.